We got our wrench. We got our wrench.
Hey, yo! Let me go work on some shit. Oh, is that important?
So guys, welcome back to another episode, Renting with Wrenches. So today
we got a guest!
My brother, Daniel Murray, we at his shop, Quarter Mile Performance, and today we're going to do basically a little interview with him on everything he's done so far with owning the shop. So the first question we're going to start with is...
How much did it cost? Where did you get it from? Why did you do it? Too early? Alright, too early.
Just avoid the guy who's sitting in the corner. What is it like owning a business?
You get strippers in here?
I'm married. No, I'm not married.
That doesn't answer the question.
It's difficult. More headaches. What's the headaches? What's like? All right, when you first opened, what was?
You can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, he's a little nervous. Him and Joe are very soft-spoken people, unlike yours truly.
Listen, we all don't come from a background.
Calm down. Don't start.
So, all right, let's say this. What is the first problem you ran into when you first opened?
Getting equipment.
So money.
Yeah, money always plays an issue, you know, and the easy part is getting a location. You know, you just gotta have the first month, last month security. Or if you want to buy a shop, you can buy a shop straight out. But it's equipment, and then it's also finding a structure. Like,
What do you mean the structure? Like, you know, like how tall is it? How wide is it? Or
No,
you talking about
no.
being able to just set your shit up so that you can work efficiently?
Structure as in like everything. You know, if you're gonna have employees, how you gonna pay employees, how you gonna get paid, you know, and then like the stress come in where like you gotta get equipment, and you know it's not simple because every car won't take the same tools. You know what I mean? So German cars, they got different tools. Hondas is more simple. Pretty much, you could take a Honda apart with a 10 millimeter.
Yeah, pretty much. 10 millimeter wrench, some
job, you know what I mean? And
they would kick it a couple of times, you know, shit like that.
But just everything. Finding a cheap place where you get oil, brake cleaner, you know, all the essentials you need to like.
So that actually leads into a question that I was thinking about, but so supply chain.
Right.
So getting tires.
Absolutely.
Are you buying tires on your own and stock them up, or do you have a place that you go to that you order, let's say, you know, 200 tires a month, something like that?
I used to
get
sell
them per order.
I used to sell used tires.
Okay.
So like, depending on how much tires you buy, the cheaper it's going to be per tire. But you know, everybody think you know selling used tires is a lot of money, which you could make a lot of money selling used tires. Only thing is you got to have the clientele and the space to hold these tires.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And being that my shop is not but so big, I can't really hold 200 tires, you know. When I first opened, the first thing I did is I jumped the gun, you know what I mean? And you seen it. I had a ton of tires here, and you know I had the tire machine, everything ready to go, and you know it took me like a year to sell like probably 100 tires.
Yeah. That's a long time for tires.
And it is, and you know that's.
And this is the area where tires, you eat up tires.
Right.
In like what? 6
But you
months?
know what? We inside a world where if I sell used tires for $30, $35, people go on Amazon and buy a used tire, a new tire for $50.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So people was like balancing it out, like I could get a used tire that's going to be good for 3 months, or I can get a new tire that'll probably last me a year and a half.
All right, so one more quick bounce off from that is, have you found that it's better to sell your own tires or to just install people's tires that buy their own stuff from like eBay, Amazon, wherever?
Well, I still have contacts where I can get discounted tires. You
Okay.
know, new tires and used tires. Only thing is for me to go out and get it. Well, the new tires come to me.
Okay.
Used tires, I will have to go out and get it. You know, I'm gonna send one of my guys to go get it. But it's just a lot simpler. You know, now all I do is I plug, patch tires. People bring their own tires. I mount it, balance it for them. You know, I keep Boston's in stock.
Balancing weights and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
balancing weights and stuff like that. So
Probably balance Joe's tires quite often, taking advantage.
I know balance moms.
Yeah, I can tell. I can
I
tell.
don't do that. So what would you say is, because I know when you first opened, there were certain jobs you wouldn't do, like motor swaps and or anything that required a large amount of hours of work to put in. But what would be platform?
Why you trying to throw him on the bus like that?
no, guys, look,
Listen, only tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
What if we had a Bible here, that shit would light on fire right now.
so what platform you right now that you wouldn't want to do at all? The hardest platform, Honda, BMW, what wouldn't you do?
Alright, before I even answer this, right, I seen y'all other video where
What are you talking about?
y'all had the German.
Okay, the German. Okay, so the
Subaru
German versus
discussion.
Japanese.
And I feel like we about to re-enter that.
We could do that. We could dabble in that a little bit. We got plenty of time.
Well,
we're only about 7 minutes in, so we keep going.
Yeah. Alright. German jobs, they pay more because it's more complicated. It's more labor hours than compared to a Honda or whatever the case is. Now, what's most complicated is always going to be German. It's just because their technology is more advanced and it's more, everything about it is difficult. You know,
It's funny, when it comes to
It's
standard
not
maintenance
regular
of German cars, there's a lot of unnecessary shit.
Yeah, it's not regular
There's a
boats,
lot of unnecessary stuff.
And they got probably 30 different size bolts on their motor. They got Allen keys, they got star bits, they got everything. You know what I mean? Compared to like a domestic vehicle.
But you never be bored. Tell you that.
Never. And you will never get rid of a check engine light.
No, I'm still working on that. I mean, you could get a file through a tune.
But me personally,
Other than that,
I'm obsessed with Audis. So I like Audis.
my man.
But
We can stop right there.
But to revisit your other video, Subaru definitely has the better 4-wheel drive system. You know, and
Everyone knows that by now. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Listen,
The Audi Quattro, and the symmetrical fucking all-wheel drive and Subarus. You know what I mean? Look at what Subaru's doing, going with the whole with being able to move the power and the differential around. Audi's been doing that for a while. That's been the purpose of the third differential in the center of the system. So don't count them out quite yet. But go ahead, continue.
And what was your question again?
Basically the platform. What's more difficult? What wouldn't you do? Or what car would you prefer to get all the time? Like to get the most.
Honda, of course. Honda. It's easy. It's easy, and then it's like everything's just simple about it. Only thing is I haven't really worked on a newer Honda. So
I can't really see it being that different though.
I can't either.
Maybe a little bit more plastic in the engine.
Yeah,
bay.
a couple more wires. And,
Yeah, a few more wires,
But,
something like that. But they probably running what they got, the same 3-4 platforms that they run in the Civic and the Accord, and then with the V6 Accords.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the exception now that they got the turbo 4-cylinder.
well, they pin turbos and everything now. You know what I mean? And what they call it, EcoBoost.
Oh, that's
EcoBoost and
that's
everything.
what's that?
Is that Mustang?
Yeah, that's Ford EcoBoost.
Ford, Chevy.
Shit.
They got it in what you call it, the Cruise.
Yeah, you're right.
They got it in a couple stuff, but everything's EcoBoost.
Yeah.
You know, even pickup trucks, they're going EcoBoost. You know what I mean? It's just an easier way to get the best gas mileage for a turbo car.
Yeah, especially with them smaller suckers. You
Yeah,
go from,
and you know the EcoBoost turbo is only so
it's tiny.
big. You know
It's
what I
tiny.
mean? You don't even know it.
It's probably smaller than a K3.
Yeah, it look like an eBay canister. You don't even know what it is. You know.
That's most people ain't even gonna be looking for it. You know, I would love to see someone take their EcoBoost Chevy Aveo and throw like a T25 turbo on there.
That'd be nice.
That car just slide right off the road. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You thinking about it, Joe?
No.
Is that your next project? No.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Mm-mm.
Look like a Hershey.
I see.
It look like a Hershey Kiss on wheels.
I seen a YouTube channel where the guy had was it a Chevy Cruze.
The Chevy Cruisers aren't
Tuned
bad
out with
because they
the-
got the RS versions
Yeah.
that came turbo, and if you really take a good look, they remind you of the Mark IV Jettas. That body style, like that short, wide stance with the flares. That's basically what Chevy did. They was like, oh, you know what? This was a popular car. Let's do the same thing now. Bunch of lazy bastards.
Another question I want to ask is how is it having people work for you under your shop? Any
Guys
headache?
know we have his people in the background. I'm gonna do a little.
There's one. There's another one.
It's we work as a team. You know what I mean? And like
I'ma just fix you real quick,
I
yeah.
always was like before I even started the shop, and the main reason why I started the shop is because I'm tired of working for other people, and then I love cars. You know what I mean? And I have a passion for cars, and I have a passion for making people happy. You know what I mean? And if you're not planning to have happy customers, you might as well not have any type of business. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a people's person, you shouldn't have any type of business. You know what I mean?
Especially with cars.
Especially
Because you got
yes.
people asking a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
They don't know nothing.
Absolutely.
They automatically assume you're stealing from them.
Absolutely.
People will
Automatic.
take their car and come back. Hey,
Absolutely.
you didn't do this, right?
Now you know what it is too. You know what it is too. People bring their cars here, right? And it be multiple problems with their cars, but they don't realize that they only paying you to do one job.
Yeah.
They think because you see it, you gotta fix it. It doesn't work like that. What's gonna happen?
not construction.
What's gonna happen is I'ma see the issue. I'ma fix the issue that you're paying me to fix, and then I'ma tell you about your other issues. And a lot of people feel like mechanics is messing with something else so you can come back to them. You know what I mean? And it is mechanics out there that do that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I haven't heard a lot. I haven't heard as much about it in the past few years as I had in the past. When I was first getting into the field, and I was working under some dude's wing in his own shop. You heard that all the time. Like, do I really need this? Because I went to Jack Williams or I went to Midas.
Yeah.
They told me all this. I went to Coast, and the guy was like, "Hey, I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know what you need.
Right.
It's up to you to fix it, but you gotta understand."
well,
I mean,
you
certain
know what it
things.
is too. You know what it is too. It's something called upcharge. And a
Oh, yeah.
downcharge. You know what I mean? Like a lot of inspection spots, they'll check it out and your brakes probably be at 50%. And they'll tell you like, listen, your brakes is a little iffy. And then a lot of people are like, all right, fix it. And just because they want the inspection.
Yeah.
But not understanding you're gonna pass the inspection regardless. But they upcharge, they sell the brakes so they make even more money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of business. You know,
Yeah, that's any business.
Bigger
Any
people,
business will upcharge.
bigger people do that a lot. You know what I mean? Like Jack Williams.
That's why when I go there,
all these brands and stuff.
I let them make me a list.
They
You know,
train.
you know,
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
If
Let
you
them make you a
if you know you need work done in your car, go to Jack Williams, Coast, Midas, whoever you got, Pep Boys, have them make a list for you. Get that list and either take it to someone you trust, take it to your grandpa, your uncle, your cousin, or take it back to them and just plan it out ahead and do one thing at a time. The most important shit first. But understand that some of that stuff is going to be expensive regardless.
Absolutely.
Stop being cheap, Joe.
Please, I want to
No, I'm cheap as hell. I do all the work myself unless it's something that either requires a lot of time, because I got babies running around. You know, they want to stick their head up in there with me. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. They're not going to leave me alone. Or I can't afford for the car to be down for like 2-3 days while I'm doing this. I find a problem and then get back to it. Like, I took my car to have his timing belt done. Turned out the person who owned it before me tried to do something, and they completely stripped out the bolts, the hex bolts that hold the balancer in. And they had to order a whole new bolts as well as the automatic balancer because they ruined the wheel. Now, had that been me, car would have been down while I tried to find a part.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? Would have been assed out, just sitting there, car up in the air.
We live in a town where it's not safer, but it's better to learn how to do your own work. You know what I mean? Like, two trades that everybody should have some type of knowledge in is mechanics. You know, fix your car, and also construction. You know, because you're always gonna need a car, and you're always gonna need to fix.
You gotta know how to change a tire before you can know how to fix a car. Because not a lot of people know how to change a
We
tire.
got some peanut gallery comment. So learn how to change your
change
tires
the tire.
before. Now that doesn't mean the actual tire itself. That means if you hit a flat, know how to take the spare wheel out of your trunk and put it onto your car,
Not only
so you can
on,
drive to the shop.
Not only on,
And
but
tight.
on right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people put it backwards.
I've honestly I'm dying to see that. I
No
know it's
problem,
dangerous,
man.
but I'm dying
And
to
not
see
only
that.
that, too,
I'm
but-
gonna look up some on YouTube because I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Not only that too,
It's
but
there. It's there.
make sure your flat. Make sure your spare tire, the donut, is in the back of the car.
And it's got air.
It's not on your steering.
And it's got air.
And it definitely got air. And definitely need air.
Yeah, I've seen that people with donuts on in the front, and then the car's riding like this. Like you messing up your suspension.
You don't know.
Now you know.
Now I got a question for y'all. I don't have the answer for it. I just want to see if y'all have the answer for it.
Let's go.
Now, why do they make spare tires one size?
Smaller.
So you can do donuts.
That is retarded. From my understanding, talking to a somebody who actually works for manufacturers. This goes back like 11 years when I was in school. If you put a regular size wheel inside your car, they're gonna like, okay, I don't need that wheel. They're just gonna roll around that wheel, even if it looks different from the rim or whatever. Most people don't care enough to go and get that wheel replaced if they have a full size replacement in the trunk. They'll take off the bad wheel, throw in the trunk, cover it up, and forget about it. But if it's a donut, something small that looks like it belongs on a bicycle or a tricycle or a scooter, they're more than likely to go to a shop and have it replaced.
So they put that in there on purpose.
Exactly.
Exactly. Force you to replace it.
Because you look at big vehicles like off-road vehicles, Jeep Wranglers,
Yeah.
no, not
But don't-
Land Rovers, but so basically like
Yeah,
Jeeps,
Land Rovers do
Jeeps,
too.
Land Rovers, the Toyota FJ, big joints like that, they have full-size backups
I hate
because you're meant to go off-roading with them.
I hate that.
You know, FJ is
Hate
retarded.
it.
Too expensive.
How ugly is car?
But even if you look at full size, like I guess light trucks like the GMC Acadia, the Dodge Durango, things like that, they have full size spares mounted underneath the car because something with that much weight you can't afford to put a donut on. You know what I mean? But again, the wheel won't match the rims that are on there, but you know it's a steel. But once you put that on, if the person feels no difference, they're not going to rush to replace it. But if it's an all-wheel drive and someone knows what they're doing, then they're going to rush to replace it. Especially if you still have like the original manufacturer tires, they're not gonna rush off. Hold on.